So, welcome to another episode of the Emetophobia-Free podcast. And today we have somewhat of an emetophobia-free superstar with us. It's the
Oh,
lovely
superstar.
superstar. It's the lovely Sarah Kenner.
Really?
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Hello, I'm absolutely fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, if you've been following us for a while, you will know that every year in December we run a competition, which is called the Emetophobia-Free Thriver of the Year competition. And we invite anybody who's been working on their emetophobia and learning to thrive and overcome their fear to enter the competition, share their story, and the winner receives a goodie bag and some gift vouchers and lots of lovely things. And this year we had four lovely runners up, and our wonderful winner, who is sat here before us today. Sarah was our 2024 Emetophobia Free Thriver of the Year.
A superstar, as you said.
A
I'll take
superstar.
that. I'll
Well, we
take
are
that.
really privileged to have Sarah with us
Oh,
today.
my honor, my honor.
Good.
Really. Thank you.
um, because she has such a fabulous story to tell. And I'm not going to steal any of the limelight because it is Sarah's story to tell. So I'm just going to hand straight over to Sarah and say, Sarah, we know you had a metaphobia. We know you don't anymore. Tell us about your journey. Where did it start?
All right. I'm gonna start with what I thought. What I thought back then was the starting point of all of this. Long story short, I got sick, real sick, out in the open on a busy street, on a busy day, on a busy summer day, really hot day. I was like 12, so basically I was a kid.
Okay.
And this was the first time in my life that I had been sick in public.
Yes.
So really, with all eyes on me, disgusted eyes on me,
Mm-hmm.
and this brought so much shame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but my brain interpreted that as this is so shameful. I can't cope with that.
Yeah.
And from this point on, I'm going to do all it takes to avoid that to happen again.
Right.
And from this point on, I slowly but surely developed a coping mechanism, defense mechanism, to avoid that from happen again. And I started to also be afraid to see that happen to other people.
Right.
Like it really started not right after the incident, but
Right.
it took a couple months for me to like come out of it and to look at other people like, are they going to be sick? Because when you're a kid, you're sick all the time. And before the incident, I could see other kids in class being sick, and I was really unfazed by it. I would laugh sometimes because I'm a kid.
Yes.
And
Yes.
right after that, it was not the same anymore.
Okay.
I would just, back off when I would see someone sick, sometimes run away, sometimes scream,
Yes.
like, oh my God, like this was really something really terrifying in front of my eyes, like something
Yes.
dangerous. I don't know, but I would just scream
Yes.
because this was genuinely scary to me.
Yep.
Even if it was happening to someone else, it would just remind me of
Yep.
what had happened to me
Yes.
before.
Yes.
All the more to say, let's avoid that. I can't cope. I can't see it. I can't smell it. I can't
Yeah.
be there. I want to be anywhere else but in the presence of someone who's sick.
Yes.
And then I started to be even more afraid that it happens to me.
Okay.
So whenever I was feeling things that were not even related to nausea or throwing up, I would interpret those things as things that would lead me to be sick. It could be anything like a light headache or just
Yes.
tinglings in my fingers. Oh, something is wrong. I'm going to be sick. I was
Yes.
completely obsessed.
Yes.
That was an obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was obsessed with what was happening in my body.
Yes.
I would check my body all the time, especially my stomach
Yep.
and the overall abdominal area. I was like, am I hungry? Have I eaten enough? Have I eaten too much?
Yeah.
What am I gonna eat? I didn't prepare that myself. I can't eat that. I can't go to the restaurant. And as a kid and then as a teen, it's really, really isolating because you don't feel normal. You feel so out of place. You feel like the others are some sort of big group and you are out of this group because you can't function normally outside when food is involved.
Yes.
So most of the times when my friends had parties, teen parties, I was like, oh, that cake, I don't know if I can eat that. I don't know who made it.
Yeah.
I don't really know what was used to make it. I'm going to take one bite and that's it. And we'll see. I was really picky with food, with quantities also. That was my main problem because when I got sick on that street, it was because I was forced to eat much more than I was used to. And it really got me sick.
Yes.
So sick. My grandmother was there and she said, oh, I didn't know that so much could come out of such a tiny body.
You don't.
I was feeling so ashamed. My teen years were the worst. I developed a real anxiety from this because I wasn't feeling normal, because I felt like an outcast in every single group that I was in. I was so afraid that it would happen at school. I was so afraid it would happen like anywhere. And what was, I want to say stupid, but it's not stupid, really. It's just a phobia and how it works. What my brain thought is that if I'm not in control of everything all the time, my stomach will decide on its own to throw up.
Yeah.
I need to be on top of all of this. I need to be in control all the time, day and night. It's really exhausting. It's really exhausting to be so obsessed with what is happening in your body. You don't live your life. You're never in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're always on edge. You're always scanning everything around you, your environment, your own body, everyone else.
Yes.
Do they look sick?
Yep.
You're like, you're not even enjoying the food that you eat, because you're always thinking maybe this one bite will be the extra bite that is going to make me sick. That's stupid when I say that right now to you, but back then it made so much sense to me.
Yes.
I needed to be in control all the time, and it's so exhausting. Exhausting. I was even afraid to fall asleep at night sometimes, because for whatever reason, I was completely convinced that it would happen at night.
Yes.
Because at night you're like sleeping, you're not in control, you're not awake, you're not aware of what's happening in your body. Yep. And if you throw up at night and you are sleeping, it wakes you up so abruptly, and you don't have time to process what is happening to you. You're just throwing up because that's what your body does when it feels like it has to do it. So I was so scared to fall asleep and not be aware of what my body was doing. So I had so many terrible nights when I was a teen, with anxiety on top of that, so much stress about it. It really ruined my life, to be honest. And I made the mistake because when I started to have this phobia, internet was not a thing. Mm-hmm. I'm old. So there were practically no resources about that. It didn't even have a name.
No.
We did not say emetophobia back then. So when internet was a thing, of course I was still phobic. I started to do research and maybe find out people who were like me. And the mistake I made is to join a forum of people who also had emetophobia. And what was happening on that site was basically people sharing their anxiety, sharing that, oh my God, I have to take a plane and I've got to go far away in this country. I'm so scared I'm going to be sick on the plane. Please help. Please send some comfort. I don't know. And this does not help at all.
No.
This doesn't help
No.
to overshare your anxiety, because it simply validates your own.
Yep.
So it really didn't help. I was just, I was just reading those stories and I was like, oh my God, same. Oh my God, same.
Yes.
And what it did to me was that I convinced myself that I had everything that could cause you to throw up. For example, I convinced myself that I had motion sickness.
Okay.
I don't have motion
No.
sickness. I never had, never will. And what I did is, when I had to go on a train or on a plane, I would take my little pill for motion sickness, and of course it went well, of course. But I thought it was because of the pill, but no, it was simply because I don't have motion sickness.
Yes.
But
Yes.
at the time, I did not know. I was so scared. I was so scared I would do stupid things. Sorry for the word stupid, but when you know what emetophobia really is, you remember what you did and you thought like, wow, I really did that.
Yeah.
What was going on in my head back then? I really don't know. Really, the phobia took over and basically ruled my life.
Yes. Yeah.
For years, for decades.
Yeah.
That is scary when you think about that. You
Mm.
think about all the time wasted, all the plans I canceled because I thought, oh, I do that, I'm gonna be sick. I'd rather stay home and eat my own food. And yeah, there's so many years I want to say that I lost, but all in all, I want to say it's okay, because every single event of my life led me to this point. So I don't regret anything anyway. So
that's good.
And so I found the program, and I was like, that's the first real program for emetophobia that I find.
Yep.
Maybe I'll give that a chance, especially when they say there's no exposure, because we don't want that in our life. It doesn't help anyway. So let's do this, because this was the only thing that I saw aside of the program is, yeah, it's going to be exposure therapy. This is the only thing that works. You have to watch photos and videos of people throwing up.
Yep.
It's going to help with, no, ma'am, it's not going to help. I'm sorry, but watching people throw up, I did, and it didn't help.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm not going to pay to do that because I know it doesn't help.
Yes.
So I knew there was much more than that. I knew it. And so I really felt like this program was something different. The approach was different. First things, there's this quiz with like 100 questions, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna give that a try. And the questions were both relevant and both why they asked me that. And it makes sense when you see the results and you can understand that it is all about control.
Yes.
And I went through it chapter by chapter, and every time I had those, oh my God, this is so true. This is me. And just seeing people who were validating what I've been through, like they were knowing what they talked about, and they were describing it so accurately, like, yeah, this is exactly these are exactly my thinking patterns that I have right now. How do you know that? How do you know what I'm going through? This is so cool. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to go through every chapter. I'm so excited, because this is what happens when you see that.
Yep.
And this is literally your life described here. You want to know more. You want to know more about it, and you want to know how to get out of it.
Yes.
And because that's the promise. The program is the ideal tool for you to get out of this phobia.
Yep.
Should you follow the rules, should you follow the exercises and all the advices that are in the program. This is what I did. And I went really slowly, because I really wanted to understand, like really understand and integrate all of it in my brain.
Yes.
Because my brain, this, I'm not going to say the word, this AMF, really ruined my life for nothing. And I needed to had a chat with it.
Yes.
So yeah, that it's emetophobia no more. I'm going to take back the
Fabulous.
control on my life
Yeah.
because I deserve it. My
Good.
inner child, my inner teen deserve it
Yes.
because I lost so many years to that phobia and
Yeah.
I wanted it to end right this instant.
Yes.
So it doesn't happen in an instant though.
No.
It,
No, it
it
doesn't.
and even after you complete the program, you still have to reprocess what you learned because it doesn't stop in 6 weeks, you know.
No. Yeah.
Decades of phobia just don't magically disappear after 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, you have all you need to to implement in your daily life,
Correct.
and
Yes.
the phobia just fades away.
Yep.
It fades away, and I want to say something for people who want to start the program or are just at the beginning of the program. I just want to say don't strive for perfection
Mm-hmm.
because perfection is impossible for sure, especially with that phobia.
Mm.
Because if you have moments when you think uh, you're gonna lose it, or you're gonna stress, or you're gonna be sick, and it's awful and all, these situations are just opportunities for you to apply what you have learned.
Yes.
So if you have a situation where you feel like you're going to be sick and you can't handle it right now, and you don't handle it, and the situation is over, and you're like, oh no, I failed myself, I didn't follow the program, I'm such a failure, shame on me. Don't do that because
Yeah.
it happened to me because I was in a situation. Well, I can't remember exactly, but I had nausea at a moment, and I was outside. I was about to go on the train, and I was kind of stressed, and I panicked a little bit, and I tried to breathe a little slower and all, but I couldn't calm myself, and then it just the situation was over. I was on my train, and I wanted to cry a little bit because I thought, oh, I failed. But then I thought, you know what? That's not a failure because I can see the thinking pattern that was at play here. I can
Brilliant.
see it. I brought it to the surface. I brought it to
Yes.
my awareness, and that is a victory in and of itself.
It is.
And
Yes.
it's the little steps right here that gives you back the self-confidence that
Yeah.
the phobia took from you.
Yeah.
And I believe this is important to not to shame yourself if you have blips
Yes.
sometimes. It
Yes.
happens, it's normal. Healing is never linear.
Yes.
It goes like this.
Yes. It
And
feels like that. Yeah.
you have obvious victories, and you have those small victories that are just as important.
Yes.
This is how it goes.
Yes.
So perfection is something that will stress you even more. So just don't be so hard on yourself. Be patient. Always be soft with yourself and celebrate those little wins. Yeah, celebrate just seeing a thinking pattern that you want to get
Yes.
rid of because you can't get rid of something you're not aware of.
100%.
So you have to bring
100%.
them to the surface. And the only way to do this is to be in situations
Yeah.
that were so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Try to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's what we want. Because
Yes.
throwing up is not an immediate danger. It's just discomfort. It's
That's
just
it.
discomfort. And we can
That's
cope
it.
with that. We can cope with that.
Fantastic. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that. Okay. So amazing journey, amazing story. Lovely,
Thanks.
lovely to hear what you took from it and how hard life was beforehand. There was a question I had there. You know, you said you went through the program and you did this with the manual. So
Yes.
you are now emetophobia free with no
Yeah.
coach involvement. You did this
No.
entirely yourself with the
Yeah.
manual. And that is such an important message because the majority of people that come on the podcast say, I went through it with a coach. And there's so many people out there going, I can't afford a coach, or I don't want to work with a coach, or do you get as good results with the manual? Yes, you do. And yes, you
Yes, you
can.
do. Yes, you do. Yes, you can, because um, I really wanted to do that for myself, because
Yeah,
I felt like my inner child, my inner teen wanted proofs that we can do it on our
love that.
own.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I actually went into the program without any expectations, because
Yeah.
I have been so disappointed with what was proposed
Yeah.
back then, emetophobia therapy, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I went in without any expectations. I just, okay, let's see. Maybe it's gonna work. Maybe it won't work. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna do all it takes to make it work.
Yes.
I want out of it. I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
So I really wanted to do that for myself. And um, it's okay if you need a coach. If you feel like you need a coach, it's okay. It's
Of
okay
course it
to
is.
it it's okay to ask for help, because I can understand that it's not easy for everyone
Nope.
to go through this on their own, because I believe that there are more severe forms of emetophobia than what I had, and it can be so debilitating that you can't do that on your own. You're just too
Hmm.
exhausted,
Hmm.
and it's okay if you need guidance. It's okay. But I don't know. I felt like if at any point you need a coach, go get a coach. It's okay. But I did not. I really just did that myself. And I want to add something on that topic though, because I want to tell a story where my emetophobia went out of control. I wanted to go on holidays with my family back in 2023. We
Hmm.
wanted to go to Prague, and I was really in a place in my life that was not the ideal to go on a trip, to go on a plane, which is stressful for me in and of itself.
Hmm.
Um, so long story short, we were on the plane, uh, buckled up and all, and I'm like shaking and crying, and I'm telling my mom I can't do that. I want to get out.
Hmm.
So I got out of the plane. I ruined the holidays for my family, and when I went back home, I just shut down for 3 days,
Hmm.
and I realized I need to do something, because I'm feeling so disconnected from my own body.
Hmm.
I don't even know, I don't even recognize myself. I need to do something. And I found a program about nervous system healing.
Hmm.
And this really helped me reconnect with my body, my sensations, and all.
Hmm.
And I believe that doing this helped me getting through the program,
That's
because if I had not had this nervous system reset, I think I would have needed a coach
right.
because I was so anxious and so stressed all the time. Um, this was simply unbearable for me to try to heal such a phobia that was basically about the body, you
Yeah.
know? Um, so I believe that helped. I'm not saying it's you have to do it before you have to do a nervous system reset before taking the program. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that in my own experience, I believe that this helped,
Yes.
because it's really important to be connected to your own body, to be able to be here now,
Yeah.
to be in the present moment,
Yes.
because this is what this phobia hates. It hates you to be in the present moment. It hates you to be aware that you have the power here.
Yes.
You're in control here. This is what this phobia hates, this little demon in your brain. This is what it hates. So gaining control back over your own body really helped me going through the program alone.
Nice.
Um, so, but I always had this thought that if at any point you need help, go ahead and get
Yeah.
your help, get yourself a coach. There's nothing shameful about that. It
No,
doesn't
not at
mean
all.
it doesn't mean that you can't do that alone. It just means that you are so lost in the phobia that you need a little guidance, and
Mm,
it's okay. I believe it's even nice to have someone to share your wins with.
absolutely.
So I know I chat a little bit with Bree Billington, who is a
Mhm.
coach for Emetophobia-Free,
She is.
and I love to share my victories with her because she understands. You know,
Yes.
she's like, yeah, I've been through that. I understand what you're going through, and I understand those little victories. Because if you're telling a a person who doesn't know anything about this phobia, oh, I could eat a little more today, I'm so happy, they're gonna be like, yeah, sure way.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good for you. So I love to have the opportunity to speak to people who understand
Yes.
what I've been through and understand these little steps, these little victories. And I have my little journal too, where
Yes.
I take down my little notes where I say, yeah, I ate a little more today. Yay, I had nausea today, and I danced through it. Because that's the
Brilliant.
story. If you allow me, I have this amazing story.
Yes.
Um, I was in Paris last year, October last year, for
Yeah.
a concert, and I was staying at a hotel. And the next day, the next morning, I had my train at 10:40, and by 9 a.m., I was in my hotel room, and I started to have those awful nausea. And I was like, what is happening? It's okay. I have the bathroom right here if I need to go. I'm gonna, I'm gonna just pack my things and just wait for it's time to go to the train station, and we'll see what's what. So I drank a little water, and I was just lying down, looking at my phone, when before the program had nausea happened to me, I
Mhm.
would have been all over the place,
Yeah.
crying, screaming, um, calling my mom for what? What can she do about it? She
Yes.
can't do anything about it. She
No.
can't stop the nausea for me. Anyway, I was in my hotel room, and I don't know why, but I started to dance.
Nice.
I started to dance. I found this song on my phone. I was like, oh my God, I want to listen to that. And I started to move a little bit like this in my hotel room. And what was really happening, the reason why I had those nausea is because uh, it's a bit stupid, but I should have recognized that. It's because I had eaten a lot of you know how do we say that in English? Sorry, whole grains, oats,
Yes.
cereals like
Yes.
this.
Yes.
And sometimes when I eat a lot of those, I have a digestive, let's say that my digestive system is a little bit slower. So
Okay.
when it goes like this, it can cause nausea, but
Yeah.
you know, sweet, soft nausea.
Yes.
And so I went to the bathroom. I had my I went to the bathroom, and so I evacuated the dance floor, if I
Yes.
may say so. And then the nausea stopped. The nausea stopped. And you know what? I told myself, I'm not gonna go to this. I'm not gonna take the subway to go to the train station. I'm gonna walk to the train
Nice.
station, get some fresh air. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. The air is fresh as can be in Paris. Sorry.
Yes.
So I went out with my suitcase, and I walked to the train station, and I was feeling so fine. I
Yes.
was feeling so fine. This smelled like victory to me. This
Yes.
was such a victory to me. And I was so proud of myself. And I didn't call my mom. I didn't call my mom. I was so proud of myself. I did that on
Yes.
my own. I
Fantastic.
went through it on my own. I danced through it,
Yes.
and nothing happened. And I was even prepared to throw up. I was like, okay, if it has to happen, it
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
It's okay. Have
Fabulous.
my train anyway. I'll go
Yes.
back home anyway. It really is just discomfort.
Love that. Fantastic. And that is just the definition of emetophobia free, isn't it? Because you're saying it is uncomfortable. I didn't like it, but I can cope. And I coped
Yeah,
and I did it. And you praised yourself. And that was
yeah.
wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. And I'm really proud of you for being able
Thank
to handle it
you.
like that.
Thank
Really
you.
proud of you. So just before we go then, because you've really told that story so beautifully, what's life like for you now? What does a emetophobia free feel like?
I want to say it feels like freedom.
Yes.
It feels like genuine presence in the moment. It feels like not being obsessed anymore with everything.
Mm,
It feels like I'm feeling more relaxed. I'm feeling more open to new experiences,
yeah.
like travels or
Yes.
any type of experience, really. Because I really stopped myself from doing a lot when I was still phobic. But now I'm more open to spontaneous things too, because I'm not obsessed with being in control anymore.
So, is there any words of wisdom to anybody who is listening this and thinking, crikey, she's come such a long way, she's done such brilliant things, and I'm still stuck with it, or maybe that's she can do it, but I can't do it. What would be your words of advice for anyone wanting to go through the program?
I want to tell you that you can cope with everything that is going to be presented to you today. You can and you will. Um, it's not it. It's not. You may feel like you are cursed and that your phobia is different than the people who could overcome it, but you're not. I swear to God, you're not. I was in a really, 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 really bad place and I could do it. So just remember that you can cope with that. It's just discomfort. There are a
Yes.
lot of things in our lives that are discomfort, and we can cope with them so easily, and we don't even realize we are coping with that. So
Yes.
it's just one of those things. It's nothing
Brilliant.
big. It's nothing that is happening to you. It really is something you have complete control over.
Nice.
And you can cope with nausea, you can cope with throwing up. It's all right. It's gonna be okay. I promise. So
Fabulous.
I can just encourage you to take the program without any expectations
Yeah.
and just go just take it and take it chapter by chapter and um, little by little you're gonna go through a chapter and you're going to see something that clicks and you want to know more. So you go to the other chapter and something clicks
Yeah.
and you go to another chapter. Just go your own rhythm. Just go your own path. Just don't, I don't want to say don't listen to others' experiences because it may influence you
Mhm.
somehow, but um, just make it your own experience.
Yes. Yes. Don't compare yourself to others. I think is what you
Exactly.
mean, isn't it? Yes. Don't compare. You can listen to stories, but don't compare your story. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. It's not because I did it without a coach that you doing it with a coach is a problem, is a
No.
failure, is less important, is less of a victory.
No.
No, just make
Yes.
it your own experience. Take even 5 coaches if you want. It's
Yes.
okay. Make
Yes.
it your own experience. The goal of it is to get rid of this phobia. So
Yeah.
whichever way you do it is your own way.
Yeah.
Just make it your own experience, and
Brilliant.
I promise you can cope with that. That one quote that I took from the program actually is the one that changed everything. It's really empowering. This program is very empowering. It's
Yes.
really like this manual believes in you right
Yes.
from the start without even knowing who you are. I fucking believe in you.
Yes.
You can do it. You can do it. It's like you have your a little companion. This manual is a
Yes.
companion because it really encourages you like page after page. It never shames you or
No.
judges you for anything. It really is about, yeah, you can cope with that.
Yeah.
Maybe no
Yes.
one told you before, but you can. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you right now, you can.
Yes. Brilliant. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much. It's been amazing to hear your story today and to have you on the
uh,
podcast.
My pleasure, my pleasure. It's always nice to share an experience. And I really hope that the people who are listening to this right now will take the step of buying the program and go through it because it is life changing, I promise.
Yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you for sharing your time,
Thank you.
for being here, and well done again for being our Thriver of the Year 2024.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a superstar and you can be too.
You are a superstar. You absolutely are. Well, thank you so much, and I will speak to you soon.